We're a little down in the dumps here, Kurt. We just had a moment that you probably see on The View where we got our feelings out. So
is everything cleared out now? You guys good to start the new year fresh?
I think.
Still some tension.
Okay, but did you ever have that moment? Did you ever have any of those moments on a football team where you kind of had to talk it out in front of a group of people?
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Yeah, we have the players-only meetings. There's times you just have to air your feelings and get them out there. And if you offend somebody, you offend somebody, but then you can kind of hit it head on and move forward.
Do you have an example of one that affected you?
No.
You won't tell me?
Yeah, I'm not. No. Yeah, that's stuff that stays in house. Come on, Dan.
Okay, but the statute of limitations is up, though, Kurt. You can tell me now.
Well, I'm not that old yet.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
But they're teammates you don't always get along with, and that they rub you the wrong way, right?
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's more just sometimes how they go about their job. You want to see a little more professionalism sometimes. You want to see them approaching it in a similar way to the way you approach it. And so sometimes you just have to you address it and you get it out there and everybody gets on the same page and you try to move forward.
Can a bad guy be a good teammate?
Yeah, I think so. I think so for the most part. But I think the hard part when you have a bad guy is that unfortunately when the going gets tough, I think we see guys' true character. And so I think that's where it's really hard is when, when things get a little more tough, a little more tense, you start to see who people really are. But I think, I think there's guys that maybe people on the outside might term bad guys that can still be really good teammates.
He's Kurt Warner of the NFL Network joining us. Let me run down a couple of topics. If you were coaching the Broncos, you would do what at quarterback?
I probably go back to Peyton. And, I just think, A, he's earned it. B, I think you saw what happened yesterday, and he gave the team a little bit of a spark. I think you like what Brock's done, and you like his future. But going into the playoffs, I think you want a guy like Peyton Manning leading the show. And so I think I go back that direction, as hard as that might be. And I'm friends with Brock, and I'd love to see him be able to make a run in the playoffs. But I just feel like Peyton has earned the right, if he's healthy, to get one more shot at it.
If you were running the Browns, you would do what at quarterback?
I would find someone that I felt could be consistent at the position. I don't think they have that guy. And so, unfortunately, I think we could have said that for the past 10 years. But I think you have to still find that position. You can continue to look around the league, and you look at all these teams in the playoffs, and they have quarterbacks. The quarterback is what drives this league and drives teams, and Cleveland's been a team that hasn't had a quarterback for I don't know how long, and every year they're in the same position, and every 2 years they fire their coach, and it all starts with that position, and you got to find that guy. Somehow, some way, you got to find that guy, or you're going to be continue to be a team of mediocrity or less going forward.
If you ran the Bengals, what would you do at the quarterbacking position this weekend?
If Andy Dalton is healthy, Andy Dalton's my quarterback. I've seen growth from Andy every year that he's played. Now, he hasn't done it at playoff time, but you have to believe with the growth that you've seen and the fact that he's got the best team that he's been on, if he's healthy. I don't think he's healthy. I don't think he's ready to go. I know they like A.J. McCarron, and they think he's got a bright future, but if Andy's healthy, Andy's my guy going forward, especially in the playoffs. I just don't think he's going to be ready.
What would you get? What would you give Kirk Cousins a long-term contract?
Not yet. I love what Kirk's done this year, and especially down the stretch this year. But I just feel like in this league we throw too much money at young guys too early because they have a good run, and then it puts your team behind, or it messes with too many things in an organization. I would have no problem with them franchising him and giving him a lot of money next year based on what he did this year. But I think you need to see more and be convinced that what we've seen down the stretch is the everyday guy that we're going to get before I give him that $100 million contract or whatever it is. But love what he's done, and he's playing great football, and I think he's capable of doing this for years to come. But if I'm running an organization, I don't do that. I've seen too many examples of that where one good run, we throw a bunch of money at a guy, and then we realize he's not that guy every single year or every single game. That I think you just need more of a body of work before you do that.
What does Chip Kelly's firing mean for future coaches who run the spread?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I'm going to go back to the fact that you got to have a quarterback. There's been musical chairs at the quarterback position where we haven't seen a consistent guy that plays. I think it starts there. So, especially in that spread system, I think you need a more athletic quarterback to run that, to make a viable option of them running. But I think the other thing is that I think the spread just in and of itself is too simplified of an offense, too much stuff over and over, and too simplified, like at college where you say, well, my guy's better than your guy, so when I get that matchup, I can throw it out there and we're going to win. It doesn't always work that way because you don't always have that team in the NFL. So I think if you're going to run some form of the spread, you've got to add more to it and be more complex than what we saw with Chip Kelly and a lot of these spread teams. Otherwise, I just don't think against good teams and good defenses that you're going to be able to have success consistently, and especially come playoff time. And I think that's what we've seen with Chip Kelly. He's done a lot of good things and a lot of yards and all that stuff, and they won some games. But when they played against the best teams in the league, they didn't win those games consistently, and I believe that's why.
I'll leave you with this. RG3 and Colin Kaepernick are stocks. Which one are you investing in? You have to pick one.
I got to pick one. Wow, that's tough. I mean, I'd probably go Colin. Seen the success that he's had, been to a Super Bowl. That there's some things there that I think you can build off of, but I believe both. You have to add a lot to both of them for them to continue to rise. But right now I'd probably go Colin.
Thank you, Kurt. Thanks for lifting up our spirits.
Yes, hang in there, guys. Come on, air that dirty laundry and get moving forward. It's a new year. It's time to get back on the right track. All kinds of joy and happiness in the studio.
We kind of feel like you did with the Giants.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay, time for a new team. Somebody got to move on. Somebody got to move on.
We're keeping the young guys. We're getting rid of the old guy. Oh, wait, I'm the old guy. Thank you.
No. Uh-oh.
Thank you, Kurt.
All right, guys, take care.
Kurt Warner, NFL Network, Mr. Positive. I thought I was going to get a story out of him. Did you ever have one of those moments where you...
Stays in the locker room, I guess.
Yeah, it does. It does.